What's up, guys? Roberto from Media,
Tommy from TK Auto Works and Tommy Kentner's YouTube channel where
right?
this podcast is going on. Guys, Roberto's got some
Oh
exciting
yeah,
news.
I am so pumped for this.
Well, let's tell him a little backstory.
All right, yeah,
So, um, you know how he had the 2014 STI that we just about completed,
yes. Right
and then
before that deer
yes,
jumped out, and yeah,
so technically he's been carless for how many months?
uh, all summer, maybe like 4 or 5 months, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know how you've done
I
it.
had no choice, dog.
Yeah,
Well, and, I've been so busy with work and finishing up my fixer-upper house too, so it's like haven't really had that much time to deal with it. Yeah,
yeah, no, I understand that, but now things have changed.
right.
Yeah,
Uh, So I guess the backstory of this car, I almost got this car before I got the wide body
STI.
STI,
Yeah,
but at the time it was dealing with some like little electrical issues, and
yeah,
I'm not too worried about the mechanical stuff because I know Tommy can figure that out, but like the electrical stuff is just a nightmare to deal with.
and it was actually just in the original because we sent the body harness out to
Right.
iWire, and he got like that was the only electrical deal. But when we sent the front engine harness to iWire, because whoever originally swapped the car did it different than iWire does it, so it didn't have a ground in the engine side of it. So
And that can really mess up some things.
oh yeah, yeah, it was acting real crazy.
Right.
But
But
we sent that off and everything's fine. So
right.
it's kind of like in the beginning it had
But
issues.
it was just kind of like whenever I was ready to buy the car, it had those issues, and I was like, because I had just sort of not really finished, but like I was in the middle of finishing that 1J Subaru, and like I know electrical things are like the one thing that kind of can keep you away from
Oh yeah,
finishing up or being 100%. But what's really cool about this car, I mean, first of all, I got it from one of my best friends,
yes,
and I'm really
good
happy
guy.
that I was able to get it from him because he's trying to buy a house, so it helps him out, it helps me out. It kind of has a little bit of backstory. He got it from the guy, the Kill Boy or whatever
Yeah,
from Tale of the Dragon, the guy who does all the pictures out there. When he got it from him, it was originally, well, first of all, it's a 2000 Impreza wagon, which is, pretty much one of the lightest Subarus. Maybe like the coupe is probably a little bit lighter,
yep,
but it's really not much. And the functionality of a wagon, it kind of goes a long way.
yeah. And I think it's real clean. Like we did it real clean because it's a full '07 STI swap.
Right.
But if you look inside of it, because we even like used the same shift boot and everything, it just is all
You
stock,
couldn't tell.
and it
Yeah.
yeah, and then we got the limited STI wheels on it,
Right.
and
It's nice.
yeah,
Well, when we got it from, well, when he got it from that guy, it was WRX swap, which already is a massive upgrade from the little 2.2, I think is that comes from factory, or is it 2.0?
no, I think you're right. Well, no, it is a 2.0 because the 22B had a 2.2.
Gotcha. NA,
Yeah,
like nothing crazy. So for that to go from that to 300 horsepower, basically WRX car, lightweight, that's a huge upgrade.
yeah, it runs good.
Um, he kind of showed me the how it drove and everything, and I was like, man, this is pretty nice, dude. And then he blew up the motor as Subarus do, and he just kind of went all out. He went
Went-
full STI
yeah,
swap, closed deck motor, brakes, like literally everything that
Fortunato
yeah,
suspension.
like the,
Yeah,
the suspension was specifically made for that chassis,
yep,
which is amazing. Yeah.
yeah, because we ordered it and well, and everything kind of like fell in line with what he wanted to do. So it was like the STI transmission and brakes and all that come out of well, actually a limited STI
Mm.
that only had like 70,000 miles on it. That the guy,
Wow.
uh,
That's awesome. I didn't even know that.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
the guy rear-ended somebody,
sick.
and yeah, so it kind of just all like like fell in
Yeah.
place, and
He said that the '07 is like one of the best gearings
it
too.
is, yeah,
So like, I mean, That's amazing too.
Yeah,
Like that's a huge little plus. Like that didn't even inspect, you know?
yeah, because you want that rear end, especially if you're going to do drag racing, so you
Mm,
don't have to go into fifth.
yeah, that's
Um,
awesome.
but yeah, but everything just fell in line for him, and but yeah, he didn't cut no corners, and it's really never been turned up because we had the limitations of this, like it's on a 16-bit ECU.
Right. Really old.
But yeah,
Way older than, anything from the 2012 and plus,
yeah, but Roberto's fixing
Yeah.
that.
And that's kind of been the thing where he actually travels a lot and he's dealing with, like, I don't really want to get into what all he does, but he's just a really busy guy.
Yeah.
So he built this car and I don't even think he's done two oil changes in it. Like the
I think that's about all he
this
did.
basically has like it's basically a new motor,
But I
you
mean,
know.
he's real like when he built it. I guess he was doing a little less, and I'm really proud of him. You know, a good buddy, like seeing him being really successful.
Oh yeah, big
Like,
time. Yeah.
yeah, it's awesome. I mean, because I think when he come and dropped it off the last time, we got dinner and whatever, and it was cool because I was like I hadn't seen him in like 8 months, and
Right.
would like to catch up more with him.
Yeah, no, he's a really cool
Yeah.
guy. And it's one of those things where like I feel like the stuff that he does is so cool. I almost don't want to bother him with like my day to day, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
but I need to hit him up more.
right. You know, when I got the car, we talked for like an hour, and it was just really cool to just kind of see all the projects and everything he's got going
Oh
on.
man, he's got so much going on, and
Yeah.
like I said, really glad that he's doing his thing.
But I guess to kind of bring it back, the car was essentially finished, but he kept it around 300 horsepower, something like that. So like, it's super turned down. Like it's beyond safe to what it can do.
Yeah, because it was only set up on like 15 pounds,
Hmm.
so probably
In 93 too. So
yeah, probably closer to like 340 wheel or something.
okay. Um, but the only issue he really had after that it was the fuel lines, which Tommy was saying is actually a fairly common issue. I mean, it's a 25-year-old car. Like
Yeah,
that's the kind of thing that just kind of goes out, and really like that's about the last thing it really needs.
yeah. So on the regular channel, guys, you'll see us. We're gonna redo the fuel system.
Mhm.
I think we're putting your bigger injectors in
Yeah,
there.
the it's going from 1050s to 1700s,
Yeah,
and
and
yeah, that's kind of the thing. Like I'm getting some of the better parts from my other STI put on here,
yeah.
which really the main thing that like makes it that much better is the Haltech. Like
Yeah, it's
oh
gonna turn
like
because
that
we
that destroys any issues it had with electrical or anything in the future, and now it's going to be super reliable and
yeah
yeah.
because we put one on a bug eye and I'm telling you, like drivability, night and day
Mm,
difference. Like it is absolutely crazy. So even your ECU, well, actually, it's technically the same because it's 16-bit.
right.
Um, but yeah, you're just gonna see a night and day
Oh, I
difference.
can't wait.
And so what it was is like that's gonna be like a tip of the iceberg.
Right. And he just took what we always talk about, like getting the foundation right,
Yep.
good clutch, good motor, you know. In the outside, it doesn't look like that crazy, which like after driving the wide body STI, like that was almost a little too much. Like I just got too much attention. I really like this. It is so subtle, and but it's a little beast underneath. So like that's nice.
Roberto can drop you a little clip
Yeah.
in here. It's been on the channel before.
Right.
Um, but that way, like, I mean, it's a super cool car.
Yeah.
And like I said, if I didn't have Betty, I'd probably try to pick it up too. Because, I mean, and it's a really built, it's a closed deck block. It's got a Blouch 20G on it. So,
Hmm.
I mean, it's good for, 450 or so.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna max whatever it does, and whatever it does, that's where it's gonna stay. I'm not really gonna, it's not gonna be like the other cars are just gonna keep going and going. Like, I'm gonna do a couple things here to it, but
Make it
like nothing crazy.
make a good driver.
Right, right, and that's literally what I want it to be, a back road car, something I can drive on the weekends, and if I gotta put something on the back or whatever, I can do that, and that's a huge benefit of the wagon. Another thing is too is that the car hasn't really seen, like, it hasn't really been pushed to its limit at all.
Oh no.
So, you know, between the which I didn't even know was that low, the 70,000 mile drive line, drivetrain, and maybe even less than 10,000 mile motor, and like everything else, like, I mean, in theory, this car should last me a long time.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
you
fingers
should
crossed.
you
Um,
shouldn't have any trouble with it.
and the icing on the cake is that the car's a 2000. We're at 2024, so next year will be 2025. So it follows into the antique,
Yep.
car loss or whatever. So I can get antique
Tags.
tags, which I'm really excited for that, because you just buy them once and you're done.
Yes.
And I'm only really driving the car in the weekend anyway, so it's really, there's no downsides to it.
Yeah. And I mean, well, and like I said, it's just better.
Yeah. Yes.
Save you a little money too.
Yeah, and we talk about this kind of stuff all the time, but it's just like, it's the new cars that just have so much tech, they have so many things, and it's amazing. Like, it really is. Like, we kind of wish to have that kind of stuff, but like, when you look back into like what you actually like a car for, that like analog, like old school feel, like you cannot go wrong with that.
No.
And this car is very analog, very, it's just you.
Yeah. Because
Besides the all-wheel drive, like, which is, I mean, now it's old, but back when it came out, it was very advanced.
it's still good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
like I said, I mean, we got 205s, me and Victoria, and then um, I don't know, it's my favorite year.
Yeah. And it's funny because I got a 2015, then I went 2012, and now I'm going 2000. Like what I want next, I think I want something the year I was born, like an 87. I'm still trying to figure out what that car would be. Uh, might be something American. I don't know, because just haven't had something American in a really long time.
Yeah, and 87.
Uh, I really like the Grand National. I've always
Oh,
thought that would be really
that would be
big,
cool.
all blacked
Yeah,
out. Yeah.
and
With, imagine
maybe
that
we can
with,
put an RV in
yeah, oh,
it.
imagine that with Tommy's touch and like the whole deck and everything else, dude. That
Yeah,
would be nice.
and what's cool about the Grand National is it's not a V8,
Right. Yeah, it is cool. Yeah.
and it's turbo.
Hey, I got that too, Jay. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean,
But it's just, it's just kind of like, as you always remember seeing people that, like, when they were like really big into cars, they always
yeah,
went to the old cars. I'm like, why? And I get it now. It's just and like, I think like 2000s, maybe mid 2000s was sort of the sweet spot where you still got like a little bit of analog and a little bit of tech.
right,
But like the newer stuff is just like, it's just doing it all for you,
yeah,
And if you're like a car enthusiast, you really don't want that, For like a regular daily, it's fine, But it's just a completely different experience.
yeah. Well, and I think, um, I mean, the cars today are just too generic.
Hmm.
Like they all look alike. You can't really tell them apart. Or
They're almost too perfect. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
and they've made it where the design is so similar on just about everything that you really have to like squint and like just make sure you look at the manufacturer in the back to see
yeah,
which one it is. Like, um, which, I mean, I get it. They're really not trying to take any risk, and they just
right,
want to make their money. But I feel like, the 2000s, early 2000s, and 90s cars, they just had so much character to them. It's
oh
it's
yeah.
just so hard to beat.
Well, I mean, like look at the '90s cars are the best. I mean,
Hmm.
it just they're timeless. Like,
Right, right.
and they're not like doing that today's. Because hell, even yeah, my Aristo, like people think it's like 2010 or something.
Right. There, it's just they really weren't cutting corners like they are now.
Yeah.
You see it all the time. In particular, like, let's say like the new Z. It's cool, but it's not that much more different than the old Z.
Or Q50
Right.
or Q60.
And they just grabbed the motor from the Infinity, and um, the styling is nice. I'll say that.
Yeah,
And
no, I like the way it looks.
I'd rather have that it's like a real Nissan car versus like the Supra that didn't even make that. You know what I mean? So,
BMW.
right, 100% is a BMW. It's so sad. But anyways, I feel like that's sort of a good place to end it. And
Yeah. Y'all congratulate Roberto on his
Yes,
new purchase.
I'm very excited.
And
This has been hard to kind of make this happen, but you know, with hard work and God, everything's possible.
that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, hit that subscribe and get in the comments, guys. Let us know what you think of Roberto's new car, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
Peace.
Peace.